Siri, what do you call me?
You're my Lord and Redeemer.
You know, that's something that you gotta keep changing it up.
That really just happened. It says on Wikipedia that as a youth, you were in a street gang called the Duckies, which also consisted of Blackie Lawless from Wasp.
Now that's a lie.
Fiction?
That's incorrect. That's fiction. Blackie was never in the Ducky. I didn't meet Blackie until much later in my life. So, you know, I don't know where that came from. Blackie probably wrote that in to try to get some more press for himself. And I met Blackie in LA back in the 70s, you know.
Wow.
The Duckies, I mean, you can verify the existence of the Duckies by watching the movie The Warriors, because the Duckies are in The Warriors. So there you go. Fact.
Calling Dr. Love. The song's title came from your recollection of the Three Stooges film Men in Black, which contained the No.
You're getting close.
Am I?
Yeah, but no film, no nothing. The Three Stooges made shorts. They were half-hour long.
Okay, yes. So
Calling Dr. Howard, Dr. Fine, Dr. Howard. Calling Dr. Fine.
Calling Dr. Howard, Dr. Fine, Dr. Howard.
And I started to walk around going, calling Dr. Howard, Dr. Fine, calling Dr. Howard, calling Dr. Love, calling Dr. Love, because I got the cure thinking of, oops, what did I just say? And the song, and there I was doing Georgie Jessel, who you have no idea.
I've heard Gilbert Gottfried reference him before.
Georgie Jessel?
Yes.
He was going to be the original jazz singer.
In the jazz singer film?
Yeah, but he was a jackass. I knew Georgie before he died.
Oh. Do you believe he was a jackass?
Yes.
Yeah. You have to admire the honesty, really, you do. Wicked Lester changed its name to Kiss in January 1973.
Well, Wicked Lester, that's not true. Wicked Lester disbanded. Paul and Gene left Wicked Lester to form a different type of group, a heavier rock group. They hired Peter Criss, they hired me, and then the four of us came up with the name Kiss.
Wow.
So you really can't say Wicked Lester changed their name.
Okay.
When we met Paul and Gene, they weren't Wicked Lester anymore.
Wow, another fiction, not doing well. It says that Anton Fig was considered a member of Kiss for one day.
No.
False. Okay.
Yeah, he did play on a whole record because Peter just wasn't cutting it. So, but we didn't tell people. But Anton Fig actually played on Mass, I think it was, the whole album.
Okay. So it says that he was fired by yourself and Paul, who felt like he was not a good fit for the band. But
almost. Actually, Ace voted also to let him go.
Okay.
All three of us.
All right. So a bit of fiction in there.
Or incomplete.
Your cover of New York Groove. It said that your unique take on the song was inspired by your experience with hookers in Times Square during the 1970s.
False.
False. All right. There you go.
False.
Was there anything in particular that inspired your version of that song?
No.
No, it's just...
I mean, think about it. You're talking about in the 70s with hookers.
Well, Times Square was very different.
You know how many groupies I had? Why would I pay for it?
I don't know if it meant that you were paying for it, but like maybe.
Well, hookers don't usually give it away for free.
No.
But I mean, if you would have said groupies, I would have said, yeah, probably.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Was it inspired by groupies?
No.
No.
No, we just had fun with it. And I remember like it was yesterday, you know, that thud sound, you know, the beat. We were all stomping on boxes. Me, Eddie Kramer, a couple other guys, the engineers. That's how we got that thud sound, you know. Today it would have been done, you know, with a drum machine or something. But back then we didn't have them.
All right. Okay, so no hookers.
No hookers.
No. Vinnie Vincent was fired following the Lick It Up tour, due in part to excessive guitar soloing at a 1984 concert in Quebec.
Well, he was let go because he never, to this day, ever signed his contract.
Oh. He was let go because he didn't want to sign a contract?
Well, he kept renegotiating, and we said this is simply an offer for employment, and there's no negotiation.
Gotcha.
You want the job or not? Oh yeah, I promise I'll pull out. And it just kept going and going, and we did tours. We couldn't insure him, so eventually we just let him go.
Kiss's debut album, the cover photo shoot, you wanted to impress the other members of Kiss by dyeing your hair with silver spray paint. And not only did it not come out for several weeks, but you suffered an allergic reaction.
False.
Fiction.
Fiction.
What happened?
It was just silver spray that washed out. I think whoever wrote that is confused with what happened to me in Paris.
What happened in Paris?
I was in Paris and I bumped into a model, a fashion model that I knew from New York, and she was doing a photo shoot there. Anyway, we ended up getting drunk on like 4 bottles of champagne, and I ended up passing out in the bed with my makeup on after the show. And when I woke up, I had an allergic reaction from not taking the silver off because it's ground up metal. And my eyes were swollen shut and I was blind. So I called my mother, I can't see, help! And they rushed the doctor over and they shot me up with like prednisone, you know, an anti-inflammatory and it took it down. But for a minute there, I thought I was blind. I didn't know what had happened. It was insane.
It says on Wikipedia that yourself, arguably the driving force of Kiss during the 1970s.
Yeah, that's not fair.
No? Okay.
No, I think, you know, it's politically correct to say all for one, one for all. I think it's fair to say there's something called chemistry. If I was with the wrong guy, with a different set of guys, like if you guys and I formed a band, we may not have reached all the way. Driving, schmiving, so you depend on each other.
Okay. Your participation in the recording of Music from the Elder was more limited than previous albums because you were unhappy with the band's decision to make a concept record rather than a straightforward rock record.
No, I contributed a lot to that record. In fact,
Fiction.
In fact, a lot of my solos were edited out, and I still have a lot of them, and I may release them further down the road.
Wow.
Even though I wasn't involved with the concept, I still wanted to be a part of it. We were recording it in my studio in Connecticut. And then after a while, we moved up to Canada. We were recording it up at Bob Ezrin's place, the producer. And we went up there to record some tracks. But some of the guitar work I did, I just FedExed them tapes of my solos. I'd have the basic track there, and I'd do the solos in my studio. Finally, I ended up going up there, and we finished the record. But yeah.
Last one for you. Gene Simmons' Family Jewels. Although it is presented as a reality series, it has been noted that some events shown on the show did not actually occur. One of these events was depicted in the finale of Season 3, where the viewer is led to believe that Gene purchases an Australian football team, Carlton Football Club, while in reality there is no record of the team being sold to you.
The reality is that I did purchase it. It was a one-day purchase, and it's called a foldback, I think, where you go in, and it was a way to shield taxes, Australian taxes.
Really? Wow. Okay, how does that, you're paying taxes in Australia?
As soon as you earn money offshore, you have to pay offshore taxes, and then that's put against the American taxes, but they hold on to your money, and while they hold on to your money, you don't get the benefit of the, you know, they loan out your money while they hold on to it for a year.
Okay.
It's an old banking trick, and it's legal. Yes,
Right.
it's to circumvent that. What you want to do is to minimize your legal and tax exposure. Children, sign up for the Gene Simmons Master Class.
Your solo song, Rock Soldiers, is an autobiographical song written partially about a car accident you had in April 1982.
Well, it wasn't a car accident, it was a car chase. I was pulled over in my DeLorean, I was with a friend of mine.
A DeLorean.
And I was driving with a suspended license, and I didn't have my registration. And my friend was in the car, and a cop pulled us over because I bumped into a guy's car that was worth about $250. And he got out and he saw my car, and he figured maybe he could get some money out of me. And I said, what are you, out of your mind? Anyway, some cop saw us arguing. He walks over, and he goes, license and registration. I said, okay, no problem. I get in the car, I pull down the gull-wing door, and I told my friend, get out of the car because I'm taking off. So he got out of the car, and I just slammed it. and for 10, 15 minutes, the White Plains police were chasing me all around White Plains, and I eluded them.
You got away from them?
Yeah, I got away from them. I pulled over at a deli to make a phone call to have my friend come and pick me up. And the guy that owned the deli looked out at the car, and there was smoke rising from everywhere, and there was dents all over it. And I seemed a little crazy, because I was. And he called the cops, and I'm waiting for my friend to show up. I'm in the phone booth. When I walk out, there's like 15 cops with their guns drawn. And they arrested me, handcuffed me, and took me away.
How did they get that so wrong?
It's in my book. Read it. No regrets.
Oh my God. You essentially escaped the police in a car chase in a DeLorean.
I was going like 80 miles an hour against traffic on the Bronx River Parkway, and I hit fifth gear and I was gone. The cop Chevy Nova couldn't keep up with me.